no tanks. I'm a big boy with a big boy bank. Self-employed, independent. Once you start, don't take no breaks. Work until I get it. I bet it's gonna take a second, but once I start up my engine, I'm gone too fast to catch him.
Hey guys, it's Bunderhill. Just gonna show you how to make the bolt lock. The bolt lock from going, you have to pull it back and get the little notch to just be able to slap it back like that. Watch again. That's all you need to do. Just like any other gun. I'm going to show you how to do it for the Ruger 1022. It's really not that hard. Alright, so you're going to need to start out with a screwdriver. Now, I'm going to take off my scope for this just really quick. This darn thing wants to come off. Alright, scope's off, mag's out. Check. Alright, first we're going to take off the stock. If you don't know how to do that already, there's just a little screw right here, the nut behind it, and a screw right here on the bottom. Alright, so I'm going to start with this one. Just going to start doing this. Taking it off. Alright, now the other one. Alright, there. Now you should have a little nut that comes out from this screw. And then this just slides right off like that. Alright. Now you've got this. Now this, you should just be able to pull it right off of its stock. Put the stock at the side, you won't need that. I like to put down the sight so I don't damage it. Watch out, this pin will fall out. Right here in the back, that stops the bolt from going too far. Watch out, that might fall out. It's different depending on how it is made. Alright, first thing we're going to do, we're going to need to punch out these two holes right here. Alright, so I'm just going to take my puncher and just a hammer. I'm just going to punch this out real quick. Some might come out easier than others. Depends on how they make it again. Now I found out if you can't find a thin enough, like obviously that one gets wider and it won't go into the hole. Just take a screw, put the flat part right into the hole. You just hammer it out. It comes out really easy. Now make sure you don't lose anything. So keep everything in order how you needed it. Well, not in order, but just keep everything inside. Because I'm going to show you how to put it all back together too. So now the trigger house assembly, right, just pops right off like that. This you can put away. Now this is what we're looking at now. Alright, so you've got this pin right up here, and then you've got this pin right down here. Punch those out right now. The top one. These ones are really easy to take out. I just like take a screw and just everything will just come out. Pull this, just pull it out. That's your mag release. And then you've got this out, and that's everything. So this, you should have a spring around your magazine release. The two pens you can put aside for later. It's the two small ones, remember that. This right here, and this, and your release. So this is what we're looking at. This I've already done it to, so you won't be able to see. But if you look at other ones, yours should look like a heart, okay? There should be a little thing. Now this is the little bit more time consuming part. You're going to want to take one of these, such as this, just turn it on and start filing away at that. Get it so it's smooth right there, just totally smooth, maybe even a little humped up a little bit, but pretty much just like that. Others are different. I had to do mine 3 times to get it right. The guy who showed me had to do it twice, and it just takes. Sometimes you'll have to take it apart, take it apart, put it back together, do it a couple times until it's completely flush and good. So once you get that little heart out, that little bump, you hold on 1 second. Alright, so once you get that out, okay, here's the little more tricky part for me when I was doing this. It was really hard for me to put that together. I'm going to try and make this as easy and simple as possible, okay, from what I picked up. So you have this spring in there. You see that? How it's moving? The spring's at like a V, and it's coiled in the middle, okay? It's coiled. Take that spring and put it back towards the hammer, okay? Like that, because you don't want that getting in the way yet, okay? You don't need to hold it back, just make sure it doesn't fall forward. Take this right here with the spring, put that up here, up in the front. Dang spring. Now, from what's happening to me, is the spring is getting caught, so I just kind of pull it down past it, like that, with my fingers, and I'm going to put it in, just like that. Now punch that in, like that, punch it in, keep it in with my finger, and hold it like that. Now you take this piece, right here. The flat part right here goes out towards you, if you're holding it like this, towards you, and you just put that right up in there, and you let go until that tightens. Okay, so now you take your little heart thing that you drilled out, and you put it in just like this. So it's in here. You got this thing sticking out towards you, and you put that in and down, and you should see it come out down here on the bottom. That's your little release. Now you take your pen, one of your small pens, and fit it through that hole. So once it's through that hole, you can tell when it goes through that metal, right? And then you just kind of wiggle this down and back and forward and try and find that little hole. There, found it. Now the pin slides in. The pin is in. So now you just make sure that doesn't fall out, but it shouldn't fall out that easy. Now check your spring to make sure your spring is still back towards the hammer and it's not like down. So it's back here. Alright. Then you take this pen right here on the top portion, and you put it into that hole. Partially. Dang it. There. Partially like that. So can you see that? It's just barely in there, like that. So now, you take this, upside down like that. So like it's kind of like drooping down. This part's down, you want the little tip up. And then you fit it right into that hole. And you put that right into that slot. Then you take the pin, move it a little bit more. Now here's the part now when you need the spring down. So put the spring and move it down past the bar, past the pin. So it's going down, and you see how it fits right into that slot. You might not be able to see it on mine. Hopefully you can. You see how it fits right into that slot. Perfectly, right into that groove. Yeah. And then you take the top part of the spring and you take it with your fingernail and you just push it down. And you push the spring, push this pin right over. So now you've got the spring trapped within that little slot and the top pin. So it's creating spring tension. So now when you push on it, it's going back in. I hope I explained this well enough. Now, just reassembly of the gun. So you take this, put that back on. So no pins fall out. Put that on there. Alright, sorry. Just put them slightly in and then just kind of lightly tap them in with the hammer. There. So now that's back on. You fit that right back into your... Oh, sorry. One thing. Don't forget this pin in the back, if it did fall out. So now you just fit that right back into your stock. Band goes over, and then I just put the band over for a little bit of protection, and then I just put in the bottom screw first. Bottom screw goes on. On. And when you're unscrewing and screwing it on, you'll notice how there's like two different screws you're going through. You have to pull it out to keep unscrewing and push it into, yeah. Okay, and then you take the nut and you put it right into there. And what I figure out that works the best is if you hold the nut with the hole still exposed, but you keep it from not like coming out. You see that? I'm just keeping my finger right there while the thing is coming through. That's the easiest way for me. So I just start screwing that, and then I finish it with a screwdriver. Now make sure you don't tighten it too much or else your band will break. Alright? So now you try it. And that's how you do it. Now, for me, it took me 3 times. The person who showed me, it worked on his gun first time. He did it. When you did it for a friend, one of his other friends, it took him 2 times. For me, it took me 3. It could vary just depending on your gun, your model, how much you smoothed it down or not. It just will take more smoothing down if you didn't get it enough. And after 3, first time it wasn't working at all. Second time it was half the time it was working. And third time it worked. It just works every time. So that's my gun, and that's all you need to know. All right, thanks.
Is my family, have respect for my conglomerate. Rollie on my wrist.